Hello, guys. Okay. Let me. Okay, guys. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm back again with another video. I don't know why every time when I just click the button, my inner child just like, I don't know. I don't understand it. So I've been struggling to sleep due to I'm a person who's very much spiritual, so I tend to being spiritual means it's more like no sleep anymore, because eventually you see things in a dream and then you have to write them down, because if you don't, you tend to forget those dreams. So I'm just like that. So I see a lot of prophetic dreams in when I'm sleeping, sometimes in a during the day. So I'm just gonna talk about today. I'm on about white privileges. So this is topic I've been postponing to do it. Like I've been postponing to do it because I feel like I don't want to focus on something like this, but at the end of the day, it feel like I am walking on eggshell. It feel like I'm walking on eggshell. I'm also agreeing with it. Like it's more like I feel like I just agree with it. It's more like that's the saying they say not addressing the elephant in the room. So it felt like I'm just like, oh, the white privilege, oh, they're supposed to get the white privilege, oh, it feels like that. So I've been postponing to make this video because of that. Because I felt conflicted around it, because I don't want to focus on things like this, but I'm not gonna act like racism is still not happening, because it does. And I'm not gonna be long, because I don't feel like I want to be long when I'm actually addressing this, because this white privilege thing, it's something that whenever I'm looking at it, I'm looking at it as a golden child as well as a scapegoat child. So this white privileges, it make a lot of people who are actually benefiting from it to not grow, to not be responsible, to not dig deep, to not dig deep. They don't grow spiritually, because a lot of people who are benefiting from something that is oppressing other people, there's no way that you can actually there's no way that you can actually grow spiritually. Like you never, like no person who will grow while benefiting from something that other people actually oppressed about. So this white privilege is something that I've been experiencing a lot whenever opportunities come, and then I'll notice, okay, and I know I'm not the only one. And it's kind of like sad, because a lot of people who are actually white, who are okay with this behavior, who are okay with this thing, they feel entitled. Like, let me just be personal. Let me just be fucking personal right now. You know what? I feel like whenever I'm just referring to other people, I feel like I'm distant with exactly what I'm trying to say. So white privileges is like a golden child. Does a golden child take responsibility? No. Does golden child ever tell her mother that, Ma, you're wrong? You're not supposed to be treating us. You're supposed to be treating us equally. You're not supposed to giving me put me on the pedestal, while other kid is not put on the pedestal. So it's like that. A narcissistic mother, it's like that. That's what happening with white people. So with this white privilege thing, and personally, I've never been approached by a white person in a healthy way. Like, it's something that I've noticed with white people. They don't know how to approach a healthy healthy black person. They don't know how to approach a healthy black person. For example, for me personally, whenever I'm coming across people who are white, I've noticed that they don't know how to approach me. So what they do something secretly. Like, they will do a spell work. I remember back in 2020, there was just he was acting like a financially guru. He was a mentor, like financially was doing good. I think it was from Russia or something. So this guy, I'm gonna like make example about him and others. So this guy wanted to be my mentor, but obviously I'm not a person. I'm a self-starter. I'm a self-starter in everything that I do, but I'm also open to divine opportunity. So I'm always open. I'm flexible like that. Even if sometimes I feel like this thing does not resonate with me, so I'm like, because there was a time in my life where a new information was flooded in my way, and then I listened to it, but it does not resonate with me. But eventually, later on, it did. So I'm the person who's always flexible to new information. I'm just not like, does not resonate with me. I'm just gonna it doesn't bother me. It has nothing to do. It's not relevant to my story or whatsoever. I'm not like that. I'm a person who's open. I'm very much open, and this is something that I'm grateful for. I feel like it's a gift itself. So this guy came through, and then when he came through, he came where I was actually struggling, which was something that I was like, oh, so he want to take advantage of the fact that he can tell that financially I'm having trouble. So he was approaching me with this mentality that he's white, he's had privileges, so his race is superior and whatsoever. And I'm like, initially I was like, when someone is giving you this energy and you be like, no, probably I'm having it in my head. Like, you tend to just lie about it. Like, no, probably I'm just overthinking it. Like, I find myself gaslighting myself like that. Oh, probably I'm overthinking it. Like, no, and whatsoever. And then I was like, this guy's a fucking sociopath. Like, most white people are fucking narcissists. Maybe they can treat other white people right, but when they come across a white person, they don't know how to approach a healthy black person. I don't know about Asian, because I also noticed that racist it happen everywhere, because I know that Asian people have some story to tell. So whenever, like, okay, this guy wanted to be a mentor. He was into forex, not exactly forex, but he was into trading and stuff. And then I was not like, I have an ex, one of my ex actually was into trading, so I have a trauma whenever I'm approached by a guy who's into that. I'm like, I have to be like, no, not everyone is my ex. I have to be like, but I just know for me it's a red flag. It's a fucking red flag. So when he approached me, he noticed that I have boundaries, and I noticed that he don't like that. The reason why he didn't like the boundaries that I have is because he'd work, and I went through his people that he actually friend with on social media, and I noticed it's black people. It's black people. His aim is going to black people, not because he want to see black people improving. He was doing that business because he had this mentality that black people are stupid. He had this thing of, I have to approach African women. I have to, when I say African, no, African, it means you can be whatever race as long as you're from Africa. So it was like his mate, they were white people, but I noticed them, the majority of them, it was black people. And his aim, he had this mentality that black people are stupid, black people are this and this and that. So his aim was to do this trading on black people, and I was happened to be part of it. So eventually I've noticed that this guy, I'm seeing him on my dreams, but I don't like the dreams I'm having. It was like I was having sex with him. I was like, wait, I've never don't get me wrong, I've never had a problem with white people at all, but I've never in my life been drawn to white people. I've never romantically, I've never been drawn to white people. It was black or Indian. It was black or Indian. Sometimes I do find Asian men attractive, but it was always black and Indian. Like, it was always been like that. My attraction was always like, so I was surprised. I was like, why? What's wrong? Like I've never I feel anything for him. Just like a white, I'm like, okay, they're fine, and then it's never. I have people who are interested in white, but for me personally, it never happened. So I was surprised why I'm having a sex dream with this guy, and I didn't like that dream. Like, I didn't like it at all. And then I was like, maybe it was just like one of those poses. 2020, that's when I started to noticing that, you know what, I have, what the fuck is that? Okay, I've noticed that most of the things are in my dreams. Everything, even the next thing that's gonna happen in the dream. Not that it didn't happen back then. It's just that I've never been 90% sure about it. Let me just say this again in the way that I feel pleased to say it. I always believe in dreams, but I've never like put so much effort like I do now in my dreams on to understand them, because they are actually happening in me. Like since I was way young, I always have vivid dreams. Like since I was way young, and some of them I do remember, some of them I don't. So, but in 2020, I was still regarding some like, nah, why do I have sex with this guy? So I was like, you know, I was like, nah. And then this guy kept on texting me. I kept on ignoring him ever since I had this dream. But obvious, I didn't like the connection. I was like, maybe I'm being maybe my standards is too high or something, because I was like, I was not interested. I was not interested in his business. I was not interested on him, even like romantically. And I've knew that this guy, there's no way he can be singly, and I was right. He wasn't, because after like I was like, God, is he singly? And then he posted that he's not singly whatsoever. But I don't know whether he was married or not. That's something that I don't know. He was too into trading. He have from Russia. He was traveling the world. We have money, so he was like, he felt entitled that, oh, black people are actually stupid. Like sometimes I feel like I feel sorry for people who are actually believing this thing of white privilege, that is something that is good for them. Like it's not good for you. It will never be. The fact that you're enjoying something that other people are oppressed by it, the fact that you're feeling like entitled, believing that your race is superior than others, the fact that you don't question things, the fact that in your DNA, it's there because it's something that was done by your ancestors back then. And some of you don't even question it. Some of you have audacity to tell us that that was long time ago. Racist is not even there anymore, which is not true. The fact that you gaslighting other people, because I wouldn't be talking about it if it's something that I still don't experience with race. But at the same time, I also noticed with black people that whitewash. The fact that they see this guy, they're whitewashed people, white people are God. You know, there's some people who still believe that white people are God, that they're supposed to be treated like God, they have best interest on us. God, like, when you treat people with their soul, when you look at people with soul, when I'm always been a person, okay, like who see people with soul. So this is something that it always trigger people who are actually have a high status, because I'm often approached by them, whether for a right reason or a wrong reason, because most of the time it's usually a wrong reason, because they don't have a best interest at heart. So it's something that since I was a kid, I just knew that I have, like, it happened automatically that I don't put people on a pedestal. I have that thing that, oh, just because she have money, or just because she have this, I'm now supposed to put them on the pedestal. Or maybe their race is superior, now I'm supposed to put, no, I don't have that mentality. So I believe that people, when they start to see people for who they are in their soul, it will be better. But the thing is with white, like let me just drink water, because I'm starting to get thirsty, because like I want to go deep. I don't know why I keep on so this white privilege thing, it got them thinking that they are better than others, they are special. So, and they look down on us. They look down like that bullying. Like white privilege is just bullies. You are just a bully. You are a fucking bully. You are a bully, like that child at school who believe that just because my mother and my father is well known at school, or just because I'm one of the students that is scared of, scared, some children, student are scared of me, so obviously I have to, like, you're just a bully. You're just enjoying being a bully. It's just that we put it in a nice way, white privileges. White privilege, because white people, they don't know how to approach like black person, like at all. Like they don't know how to. because it was not the first time with that guy. And I'm just gonna make another example with this coach that I came across. She's from US. So I met her on social media. She was older than me. I have this thing of pissing people off just like, but just by being on the TikTok myself. So this coach is actually older than me. She's in her 30s. I think now she's 39 or 40. So she's a life coach. Her name is Nicole. So Nicole, obviously when I started my spiritual journey, I came across her and I was like, oh, we engage. As we engage, we didn't engage that much because my spirit guide said no. So but I was open to asking her question because I didn't know certain things, and I was like open. I'm still like person who when I don't know something, I ask. So this woman Nicole, she kept on I kept on asking her question and stuff, and then she kept on answering me and stuff. I don't know what changed. Like, I don't know what changed. Like, I was surprised. Like, she changed. Like, and I was like, she was like a mentor, you know? She was like a mentor to me at that time. And then I was like, she changed. Like, I started seeing her on my dreams too. But she was not doing witchcraft. Instead, she was mad, educated. She was like mad, frustrated about me because I refuse to give in. They want you to, this white privileged people, they want you to give, like, to surrender. Do you know how necessary, like, they want you to surrender your all to just please them. She was like that. And I was like, initially I used to have this mentality, like, whenever you're coming through a spiritual journey, you're gonna meet a lot of people because they are healing or whatsoever. They won't abuse you, they won't take advantage of you. So she started treating me like a child, and I was like, wait. And that was my first reaction. I was like, okay, there's some people who treat people like that. I little did I know I'm just gonna come across a lot of them who do that. Look, I'm treated like a child everywhere I go, and I don't know why. Do I look like a child to you? Or even that, even if I don't look like a child, do I have to be treated like that? They constantly undermine me. And I've never experienced a healthy connect, like a healthy interaction with a white person. They always undermine the shit out of me. And initially I was like, it's because of my race, or because initially I was like, maybe it's because of my age. And then I was like, no, it's not because of that. They don't know how to. It's because it's in their DNA. And most of them, they don't wanna be honest with themselves. They are bullies. They are what the word? They are bullies. They are selfish. White people are selfish, bullies. Undermining. They have an undermining tendency. They are just like a golden child. That they believe that the reason why black people suffer is because we ask for it. The reason why black people are treated like slaves is because they wanted to. It's because they are entitled because that's how their ancestors were operating from. And some of those people who are older, they are still, whenever they're growing up, they're being told the same thing. There are few white people who are actually healthy. It's just that 90% of you are toxic as fuck. You don't know how to talk to a black person. You don't. You're always searching for someone who's whitewash. Yes, you're always searching for someone who's white. And another person who's actually white that I came across was a coach too. I'm not gonna say her name. This woman, I was looking forward to work with her, like in terms of like, she was also a mentor. At the time, she resonated with me, her content and stuff. And then when I wanted to join her coaching business, she excluded me. And I was like, and then I went to see how people that she selected. I noticed that she only selected white people. I was like, okay, maybe because she's comfortable with them. But I couldn't help. It's like, I know that there's nothing, like, people are entitled to work with people that are actually comfortable working with, but I didn't understand that approach. I was like, but okay, I just let her be, because I was like, but I couldn't understand it because I wouldn't say she was racist. It was more like she doesn't know how to. handle other races, other race. She only know how to be around one race, so she couldn't handle other race. So she's just like, I was like, okay. I didn't take offense. Instead, I was like, is it because he doesn't know how to work? I've noticed it's common. They won't say it. They don't know how to approach white people. I mean, black people in the right way, because they instill this thing of they're living in fear. I know bullies like that bully in high school, bully in university, bully in your primary school. They always live in fear. They're always scared of whatever, of something that will happen or something that will never happen. That's why most of the time these bullies lie about a lot of things. They lie about, probably that bully lie about the fact that they come from a rich home, they come from whatsoever, a very privileged background, because they don't want to be bullied because they are poor and whatsoever. But at the same time, they have to cover up the whole fucking facade because it's a lie. So they're living in fear. What gonna happen if people find out that I'm poor? Like, it's like that. That's how they live. They live in fear. Like white people are living in fear, so they're projecting this fear on us. They're projecting their fear on us for what? I don't know. Their fear is the fact that black people we give birth. We're quite fertile. Not that they are not fertile too. It's just that they have this mentality of believing that we're supposed to restrict the number of that we give birth to. So in Africa, we don't do that. We don't. It's just a decision. Yeah, you'd make a decision with your partner that you maybe we want like 5 kids only, but it's rare. It's rare to have a family that is fertile, that have like 2 kids. It's very rare. Like I mentioned that I'm a 10 child, which is something that is extremely common. Notice how white leaders from US are obsessed with Africa. Why are they obsessed with us? They know that they're scared of the fact that we are many of us and we don't care whatsoever. They're always trying to project this image that black people, Africa is one of the poorest continent. Probably that is true, but why are they always focusing on the negative stuff? Why are they always trying to make as if money is the most important thing? Why are they always trying to make us believing that Africa is the country, is a continent that is supposed to always be helped? Yeah, every time I see this guy, Bill Gates, I like, do you know when you feel like you're supposed to be in someone who has, I feel like I need to like just strangle him like a little bit, I know I do that in my head. Like I just wish one day I can be in his. It's a wish. It's a wish, and it's a wish that I don't want to happen, because I'm not a violent person, but just some people just give you that energy, like I need to be in this person. He just annoyed the shit out of me. I felt disgusted by his presence and how he always acting like he's helping people. When did white people ever care about black people? When did they ever care about black people? When have you ever seen a narcissist being genuinely care about black people? Bill Gates is a narcissist. Why is obsessed about Africa? Why is whatever financial aid that he's always trying to preach about is always based in Africa? Why are they always care so much about Africa? Why are they always acting like they care about Africa? Why they are focusing on Africa? Why are they obsessed with African countries? Why are they obsessed with that? Why are they obsessed with telling black people what they're supposed to do? Why are they so scared of the fact that black people are supporting each other? Why are they so scared of even, like, they're always trying to get involved? If you go back in times, even now, right now, you will notice that you never heard in history that they said black people went to England to tell white people what to do, or a black person went to Asia and tell people what to do. Have you ever come across black people who went to Asia and be like, I went there, I'm telling them? Why are they always obsessed with trying to make us, they're acting like we are supposed to hear from them. They're acting God on us. Why are they doing that? If we are in the bottom of whatever that they believe in the bottom of that pyramid, if it's a pyramid or bottom of whatever in terms of population, why are they obsessed with us? Why are they always trying to categorize black people as violent? Why are they always trying to categorize black people as people who are actually poor? Why are they always trying to categorize black people as people who are, it's poor, it's violent, that we always obsessed with guns, drugs, that Africa is a country where we're living in poverty? Like, they make it like it's one of the most awful thing. Like, I'm just gonna tell you, like, it's disgusting. And I do know there's something's going on with water, because we're struggling with water, which is something that it happened the last time it was like it was 2014 and 2015. The reason why this is happening, it's because they're always trying to make Africa to be, it's like a narcissist. You know, when a narcissist, they're always trying to make you to behave. Whenever you are being opinionated, like, you're not behave, they treat you awfully, or they give you silent treatment because you're not behaving like in the right way. Why are they obsessed with Africa when they're supporting each other? Why they don't want black people to support each other? Why they don't want African people to get along? Why do they do that? I've got in a comment section whereby, like, I was so impressed with the Ghana president. Like, I'm so impressed. Like there's something that is so impressive whenever you're coming across. Like, they kept recommending whereby the Ghana is actually refusing to legalize same-sex marriage. Like, he's refusing this whatever, the gay thing that is disgusting, that God does not approve. Like, they even offered to pay, like, it was $60 million. I'm like, why are they doing that? Why are they obsessed with doing this thing? I know South Africa already agree into this, because these people who are actually leaders, they're really disappointing. In South Africa, they're so fucking disappointing. It's like, so it's disappointing. They care about money, because that's what they want. They want us to be obsessed with money. They want us to look at Africa as one of the most awful country, most awful continent. They want us to see it as one of the most poorest continent. Why are we so obsessed with money? Why should we be obsessed with money? Like, you're all obsessed with it. If money is everything, why do you want to come to Africa? Like, why are you obsessed with telling Africa what to do? Why are you all obsessed with the fact that Africa is supposed to be always being on financial aid? And yes, we have shit politicians like every country, but in Africa, we have those politicians who are whitewash, who believe that everything that white people say is the truth. They are God. God, where? If white people are God, why are they so obsessed with Africa? Why are they always obsessed with whatever invention it has to start in Africa? Why are they obsessed with the fact that whenever they're doing something, it's Africa, it's Africa, it's Africa? Whenever they wanted to test whatever drugs, it has to start in Africa. Why are they doing that? Why people think that they're better than everyone? There are still experts, white people who believe that they are better than anyone. Anything that come out in a black person's mouth is disgusting. I went to Indian school. As I went to Indian school, I experienced this, I know it's not white privilege, but I experienced this privilege. People that believe that their race is more privileged than others. Where, like, I'm always being surrounded by Indians, especially when, like, even when I grew up, I used to watch a lot of Indian movies and stuff. So, even when I went to university, it was a university back during the apartheid era. It was just for Indian only, not black person around or anything like that. It was just for Indians. So me going to that school, I also noticed the racism that I'm experiencing as a black person while I'm actually interacting with Indians too. So some, like, they like treat you right, and some, like, you can just tell they have this mentality of belief that black people are stupid. Like, you will work with them. Like, sometimes, like, a lecturer will make groups without having that mentality of belief that you're supposed to select a group. Like, he will choose it according to the list, the class list, and then or module list. So I've noticed how I was treated. I was treated as someone who's doesn't have opinion, who's not smart. Like they look down on us, and it's something like I'm like, wow. And I was like, whenever I come across it, I ended up like meeting with other black women, and as a student back then, I was like, and she stated whatever. I was angry, but I didn't know who to share it with. So I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just like I'm just overreacting. Like I'm just gonna sit down, and like, I'm just not gonna take it seriously or whatsoever. Like I was like, I'm not gonna take it. And then this woman came up and just said exactly what is going on. I was like I felt like I don't feel comfortable with working with other race, not because they are whatsoever. I feel like they don't care about my opinion. They don't treat me as a group member. They don't treat me like as someone who's supposed to have a say. They don't treat me like whatsoever. And was like, oh my god, like this is something that I was angry about. I told myself that I shouldn't, like maybe I'm overreacting with stuff. They always make you feel like you're overreacting whenever you are trying to fight for your own right. And it's something that is bizarre. Why are you seeing yourself as someone who only have a beautiful opinion? Right now, I don't know how many white men are trying to bind me to them. Does that it also happen to black people? Yes. S.A. Brock is trying to bind... S.A. Brock with the Rihanna bitch. The guy who's dating that bitch, Rihanna. Yeah, that bitch. So this guy, obvious, I mentioned in the previous video that S.A. Brock is actually... I saw him in the gram, and his mother was like, oh, you should date her, blah, 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 blah. And then I saw him, he's trying to bind me to him. Like, he wants me to be the third person, and Rihanna is approving it. I'm not saying it's only white, but majority of you, it's white people. They're trying to bind me to them. They don't want me to grow. They don't want me to whatsoever, in terms of like, even the coaches, the mentors, they don't want me to outgrow them. Because I don't understand this mentality. Like, there's a reason why I had to outgrow you. It's not because when I'm outgrowing you, now you're not gonna grow in anything, or maybe just because now I move, I'm going seeking for another mentor. It means your growth is not gonna happen. Like I find it disturbing that I have to be a person who have to go through this thing because you have white privilege. You don't believe black people are supposed to grow beyond who they are. And this white privilege thing is disgusting, because you all believe that you are special. Special in what? What are you exactly special in what? What are you act like you are, like you, the way you acting, because even the woman who's stealing my content is a white woman. She's feel entitled to take my shit. Like, she's lucky that I don't know her name. She's lucky. Like, she's lucky that I don't know her name. And I know my ancestors were like, they knew that I will just go and approach, like, what the fuck? Like, I would literally approach her, what the fuck? Because, like, what the fuck for real? Like, what the fuck? Like, she's stealing my content as if the content is mine. Like, it belongs to her. I'm not supposed to share my shit. Like, because they don't know how to grow. They don't know how to dig deep. Like, I've never come across a white person who dig deep. Like, I've never. They sugarcoat shit. Even in the spiritual community, they sugarcoat shit. You won't listen to them forever. You won't even visit them because they have this white privilege mentality. They believe like, oh, we're not supposed to share this, or I'm not supposed to go deep. They don't believe that spirituality is just surface. Because right now, it's very hard for me to listen to a white person. It's not because they're bad or anything. There's something's wrong with them. Like, initially I used to, because I was open to everyone and whatsoever. But I've noticed their spirituality is too sugar-coated. I can't stand it. They sugarcoat shit like it's fluffy. Their spirituality is too fluffy. And whenever you are listening to them, you feel like you're in a cult. Like, when I used to listen to Aaron Dong, until I realized he's doing spell work on us, I used to feel like I'm in a cult. Like, I'm supposed to be in a cult. Like, I feel like like, do you know when you feel like you are in chain? Like, I felt like I was in chain when I'm listening to Erondong. And I was like, it felt like cult. Like, the only person I even said, like, okay, Vita ordered, but I wish he can go deep on his spirituality and stuff. But I also understand that maybe his mission was based on helping people who are waking up initially. But I also noticed he's also fake. Like, not probably with him, he does have a psychic abilities. It's just that it's stuck on his DNA. White privilege. It's in your DNA. If you don't confront it, you will never grow beyond. If you don't confront your white privilege, forget about growing beyond. Forget about digging deep. You're always gonna be fluffy as fuck. Like, I feel like white people, they have a PhD level of gaslighting people. The way they gaslight people, the way they gaslight other people's pain. Whenever someone like, oh, you choose that, you choose to be a slave, oh, you choose to be this, you choose this, you choose to be that, you choose to treat us like God, you choose to do this, you choose, like, they make it like you chose everything. I know there are some people who are actually of a certain race, who are actually are still under whitewash. Whenever I'm speaking of whitewash, I believe that whenever you see everything that is white, like it's supposed to be done in a whitish way, where, like, let me just stick to quickly the definition of whitewash, because the way I understand it, it might be different with the definition. So this white privilege thing, it doesn't make them go deeper. And why a lot of healers are born in black community. Why why a lot of healers are black? Because I had a dream of two white women. The other one looked like the actor from Once Upon a Time. Emma, is Emma, what her name? Emma Swan in that Once Upon a Time. I watched the fifth season, because that's the only season that I actually watched. And she looked like her, and I won't be surprised it's her. She was like, she hate that I have a special gift. She want my special gift on her. It was two women, and I do know this woman actually have a content, whether on YouTube or whatever, but they do have like a fame. They have fame. It's two women who have fame, because I've seen them previously, but I don't remember the second one. But the other one, it's like that woman, Emma Swan, on Once Upon a Time, the fifth. It was the fifth season. So yeah. Like they were hating the fact that I have this special gift, and I'm like, what the fuck? There were two of them. Oh, they say like paint with whitewash. So it's like it's the same. Like you're painting the fact that everything is invented by white people. You're painting the fact that white people are God. And another second definition is deliberately attempt to conceal unpleasant or incriminating facts about someone or something. Yes. It's the fact that you're trying by all means to conceal the fact about certain things. You make it like it's only white people who can do that whatsoever, and there are black people who are still in that mentality of being whitewashed, or feeling that the only people who can do things right is white people or whatsoever, which is not true. They take advantage of the fact that it's like I've never come across a white person addressing someone who have been whitewashed. Instead, they take advantage of that. So they're always searching for black people who are whitewashed. They don't work with black people who's not whitewashed. I'm not trying to put a racist whatsoever, but you notice when you're a black person, it's and you're going deep spiritually whatsoever, they don't approach you with the right reason. They approach you with this mentality of believing that they are whitewashed. With black people are whitewashed. Black people treat us like God. Black people praise whatever that we say, or black people don't question whatever that I'm saying. I've been approached by different white women, white men who do that. They feel entitled because it's something that it's in their DNA. And whenever you don't address this shit, you're gonna have a problem. Okay, another thing that I saw in a vision during the day, I was walking, and then I saw stairs, there were steps. Okay, so please, ham. What the fuck? Ham. Why you so figure manje? Oh, zongipho letho. You just read my mind. Bye. Thank you. So I saw a vision of a staircase. Staircase. I saw a vision of a staircase, and then in the staircase, white people are perishing. White people are perishing. Their fear is coming true. Because you have been operating from fear for too long. Because you were so scared of the fact that black people are born many. There are so many, they will eventually, your insecurities, you end up projecting your insecurities on black people who did nothing to you. Black people did nothing to you. They never colonize you. They never abuse you for your own skin. They never care about you. But now, they always, whenever you're approaching them, yes, happens, some will be mad that you're approaching them. Some will be angry. Some will be defensive. Some will be okay. But they're okay, it's whitewash. Okay, they're whitewash. So I saw a staircase of race in a vision during the day, and I saw black people being too bold. When I'm saying too bold, they're becoming more vocal. They're becoming exactly who they are. They've been suppressed for too long. Do you know the saying about diamond? Diamond need pressure to be diamond. The underground, they need pressure to be shine whatsoever. But that saying about diamond, and you'll be doing that to us. It's been doing that to us. Now we're shining. It's our time. It's our time. And I just hope black people don't do what they guys did. I just hope. I feel so proud to be black in this lifetime, because I don't know what race I'll be in the next life. I feel so proud, and to the point that I'm too attached. I'm so fucking attached to be black in this lifetime, and the privileges of being black. Once you start looking, why are they so oppressed? Why are they trying so hard to oppress us? Why are they trying so hard to make us to be focused on the race, or on our skin, whatsoever? The privilege of being black. They don't want us to enjoy it. I'm enjoying them, Sham. I'm so attached, guys. I'm literally so attached to me being black. And the minute you find out why they're trying so hard to oppress us, you will realize that. I'm just gonna grab a book that I'm currently reading that just, when they invest, whenever you're approaching something, and then there's something that you're approaching, it just resonates with you. It just resonates with your energy currently. And I'm just gonna approach this book. When I'm saying white people are perishing, their population is decreasing. Their opinion to oppress black people is no longer that bold. Black people are becoming more bold. It's not just black people, because I see Asian people too are becoming more bold to white people. We are just who we are meant to be, because now God is taking control. This book, I'm currently reading it. Words of a Prophet. It's talking about a prophet that was back in 18th century. Is it ancient 18th century? During 1880s, there was a prophet back in South Africa. He was a South African. He was a Boer. A Boer is Afrikaner people. I think Afrikaner people. Well, like his prophecy is coming true. I didn't realize. And this book, like I've been drawn to this book from last year July, and as I've been drawn to this book July in like I don't have money to buy books, so I do ebooks. I do library. So I went to the library to borrow it, and I was keep on like it kept on being on my head like literally like these few months, and I was like, why I keep remember this book, why I keep remembering this book, why should I borrow it? So I was postponing to borrow it because I had other books that I was currently reading. So it's predicting what is gonna happen, and the same thing that I a vision that I'm actually saw when I said white people are perishing. They don't have control anymore, and they just should let us be. They should not try to control white like black people. Their fear is based on the fact that we're gonna do what they did to us. I'm not saying no black people who think like that. I'm not gonna lie and act like, oh my god, oh no, not black people are like that or whatsoever. But the fact that you started it, I don't understand why are you so scared of your karma. You might be a 1990 generation, but the fact that your ancestors did that and none of them ever said, I'm sorry to black people. Don't treat black people like this whatsoever. But of course, there are white people who are actually acknowledging what they did to us, what they did to our ancestors, whatsoever. Yes, I'm in 1997. I still experience racist, and it's sad because we never saw you like that. Or maybe I'm talking personally. Even my mother, she's the racist, yes. But whenever I'm listening to her, I understand why she's doing that. My mother was living in that time where racist about that was happening in South Africa, where she has to support what is something like the idea, I forgot what they call it. It's something like we're forced to learn Afrikaans as our first language. We're supposed to let go of our own first language. I'm Xhosa, or I'm a Xhosa woman, so I imagine being forcefully to learn Afrikaans, and she know Afrikaans, so I understand. Like she's the person who explains just about the thing. I explains racism, but I don't know how to live where she was during because she was, and then in 1970s she was in her 20s. She was in her 20s. They were given education that is not, I wanna say, not adequate. They were given education that is limited because they didn't want black people to be knowledgeable. They try by all means to make us to be shitty. They try by all means to not us to see us grow. They try by all means. So I understand why now they're in fear of us. They were in fear before they were acting. It's just that they didn't think of the consequences of what they're doing to us. It can come back to them. But I'm glad like how it turned up. They're happening in terms of like God ways. But at the same time, I'm not gonna act like black people won't do that to them, because I'm all about truth. I'm not gonna act like all black people will be okay with that. Some of them want revenge. And when I'm reading this book, there was a page where I just have like, I just throw the book up to like fuck it. The writer, he was acting like black people are supposed to, one of those part in this book where he was acting like black people are supposed to experience it, like we're supposed to be okay with what they did. These people remove black people in their areas violently. He acting like it was gaslighting. Let him saying that white people have a skill. It's in their DNA to sugarcoat shit, to gaslight other people's pain. It's in their DNA. It's disgusting. When I'm reading, I'm like, this Andiana guy is white. There's no way he can be. It's either he's a white Afrikaner, but I don't know. In terms of race, he's belong to white race. It must be a Boer or whatsoever. I don't know, but he was sugarcoating shit. Like, he was making like we're supposed to be like, oh, we're supposed to walk on eggshell. Mind you, there are people who were removed violent in their areas because it gave us. In South Africa, black people are so many black people now. And the second race, I think it's Indian. Is it Indian a race or ethnicity? Ugh, sometimes I'm bad with that. So Indian as well as Muslim, they're following, like the population is increasing, and it's show in the book. Like, I didn't know it's happening for real. Like you know, when you're getting downloads and then you'll be like, and then the book just confirm your download. They are telling exactly that in South Africa, black people will be a high population and followed by Indian as well as Muslim, and it's happening. It's because I'm like, whoa. I was like, oh, it's really happening. And yeah, it's happening. And white people are getting more, the population getting more and more, lower and lower. And it's happening to other countries that they don't take anything serious anymore with what come out to a white person who's a politician. Thanks to Trump for making us to recognize that white people will never change. They will never. They are perishing. Your guys are perishing because you don't want to grow. You still have this old mentality of your ancestors. I've never come across white people who acknowledge shit. Instead, be like, but you don't supposed to be like in that, and then we experience this racism. Racism is no more, but we experience racism. It's no more. Blah 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 blah. But it's still happening. So this white privilege thing of yours, I hope you are aware. We are just a golden child. And golden childs are losers. Go and study narcissist, how narcissists behave. The golden child. Do the golden child grow? No. Do they take responsibility? No. Because it's a golden child. It's like a rich parent who never taught their kids how to take responsibility because their parent pay for everything. If their kids are being rape a certain child, their mother will gonna pay for it. It's like that. It's like that. Oh, my mother gonna pay for that. I just raped her because she had a nice ass. Oh, I feel entitled. Like, what the fuck? My mother was gonna pay for that. You know those children. It's like the Solange. Do you remember Solange's son? Solange Noli's son, when he was not treating, is this the girl's guy, the one who was dating? It became like a popular thing. It went viral, and she said she had Beyonce. She said do you know who I am? Like, I have Beyonce. And people still believe Beyonce is not a narcissist. Narcissist, like, the way I see Beyonce, guys, I hate that I have to talk about her in every video because she's not important. So things like that. It's like they're being white privilege. Oh, it's like in South Africa, we like things like Uber, Bolt, taxi, whatsoever. Black people pay more than white people do. And we found out about it. Most of us were still finding out that we pay more money than they do. They get discount. If the business is owned by a white person, black people are supposed to suffer. We pay more than they do. There's other friends. There's other girl that mentioned that I have white friend because I want these white privileges. I'm like, don't you find yourself being toxic? What? Yes, I know that I'm being toxic, but the fact that I have to pay more than white people do, I don't understand, because we all here for the same thing. Like, if I'm gonna purchase chips, why do I have to pay more money than why I have a white friend who can do that? And be like, it's still happening. Like, when we we are requesting a taxi, and then you have details of a black person, because my name, you can't pronounce my name unless like you just have to take time, because my name is closer, and being closer, guys, my cheeks are getting red because I talk too much. So my name is closer, so it's not easy to pronounce it. So you can tell, okay, this person who's actually, because you have to put details whenever you requesting a Uber or a taxi. So you have put your details. As you put your details, what happens? That person can tell, okay, this person is black, and then we have to pay extra money than people who don't. These are white privileges. And then one noticed this, and then he ended up telling black people that when we are requesting Uber whatsoever, write English name as well as the last name. Fake. I have a fake email that you can use in order whenever you're Ubering and stuff. And it was like, when you're requesting an Uber, I'm like, wow, do we have to do that so that they can see that this white privilege is not good? Do we have to go to that extra mile where we have to constantly finding out what else is how we're being treated? Why are they so obsessed with making us going broke? Why are they doing this to us? Why are they making us to pay more than other people are paying? And even companies, there are other people who are white people in companies, they tend to get a higher position and they're not even qualified. It happened even in workplace. Even don't even qualify. And this guy wrote on Facebook that he saw a pay slip of a white person, and this white person he only have matric. Matric is it's only a high school qualification. It doesn't have a degree or anything or experience. He had more experience than him, but he was working for this guy, and this guy is not even that much skilled. Instead, he's enjoying white privileges. He's not even doing his work on the ticket because he had white boss and they understand their language. With the white, black people are not supposed to get the same amount of money. It's still happening, and people say, racism is not real. Once you experience it, you will feel it, and you stop saying it's not, because every time when you talking about this thing, be like, oh, you're still stuck in about that era. And when you're looking, if I'm not mistaken, in South Africa we got free in 1994, which is 30 years or 29 years from now. It was 27 April. It was 1994, and it's still happening. They'll be like, how is still stuck in that? Oh, that was years ago. Whenever you're approaching them with this behavior of them, it's happening years ago, but we're still experiencing it. But it happened to them in their head years ago mentality. But it's fine. But this prophecy is coming true, and the vision that I saw of stairs that white people are perishing, meaning they didn't look like it was stairs. It has like colors, white color, black color, and other like whatsoever. I've noticed like black people are so like I was like, maybe it's because we're black, you know. They were too bold. Like the color was bold, too bold, and the white people were perishing. Like they look like papers. They become like papers. They just don't have value anymore. I'm just gonna use something like this. I'm not saying they don't have value as human. They do have, everyone have value. I'm talking about in terms of control. They don't have control anymore. It's like this. You see? Whatever I'm moving, like everything they come up in their mouth, we won't listen to them anymore. Unless you're whitewashed and still stuck in that mentality, because they are doing us dirty. They want us broke as fuck. White people want us broke as fuck. It's still happening in South Africa. We pay more than we should. In workplace, we are being deprived of whatsoever. And whenever they're asking for people to work, it usually use black people, because they have this mentality of believing that black people have more energy than other, which is true. That movie Get Out, that movie was not a lie. It's just that we tend to see things as a movie. We don't resonate with them in real life. For me, I've noticed every time I'm drawn to something, it has something in me. It has something that I need to be aware of. Because these people who are writing movies, script writers, they are being sent by the divine to do that. They want us to have awareness whatsoever. They get out, but I'm not saying interracial relationships are wrong, because they are not. It's just that I notice a lot of people who are in interracial relationship, 90% of them, they're in the interracial relationship for the wrong reason. You will hear a white guy saying, I want to have a kid with a black woman because I want my skin to, want the child of my skin. I want the skin of my child to look like, to be beautiful. And you know what this person is saying? Is telling me that they hate their race. It's the same thing. I came across a black person who say the same thing. I want my child with a white guy because I want the skin. I want the skin to look beautiful because that bitch hate being black, and that nigga the guy hate being white. I'm not saying the only time interracial dating happen only black and white. It happen. It can be any race. But I'm making an example because I'm black, and I come across a lot of interracial dating where there's a white and whatever. And you hear a black woman saying things like, because a white guy, it doesn't have to be a black woman. It can be a black guy or a shame. They say like, why white people have more brain than white black people. Did you taste us all? Yeah. Just say you find someone who have same values as you or whatsoever. It's the same. Like, I'm gonna make a relationship with this couple even though they broke up, which I'm glad they did. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, both of these motherfuckers hate their race. Kim Kardashian hate being white. I know someone be like, no, she's not white, she's mixed whatsoever. But when she's writing race, there's no such a thing as mixed race in terms of system, but mixed race is existing. I don't know why they don't include mixed race. I don't know why they're doing that, because mixed kids, they're coming a lot of kids will be mixed. I don't know why, but because this mixed kid, have you ever come across a mixed kid that is okay in the head? Sometimes I feel like they don't know how to approach these two races and whatsoever, because they're not even considered as a race that is supposed to be existing. I feel like they're going through a lot. Mixed race people are going through a lot. Like a lot, guys. I've never come across a mixed kid that is okay in here. I'm telling this because it's true. I'm gonna make an example. Halle Berry. Halle Berry is mixed. She's not okay here. Alicia Keys is mixed. She's not okay here. Which other one? Doja Cat. Oh, that one. Which one is also mixed? Rihanna. She's not okay in her head. Inshallah, I was like, when I'm looking at this, I think I'm making people who have dirty issues, and I want to use other people. It's just that I've never been. I'm that person who's kind of like, who's more drawn to our black race mostly, or people who are mixed with black. But sometimes I do find myself drawn. It's just that I think everyone is like that. If you're in your race, you're white, you tend to be drawn to white things because you resonate with them at some level. But that doesn't mean you should not open to other race. I'm open. I'm always open. But at the same time, I do know my openness. It doesn't mean that I should accept bullshit. I don't like bullshit. I don't. I'm not a person who just sit and poop and said my poop smell like perfume. Oh, I smell like roses. If my shit stink. I'm like, stink. And there's a high position. I'm like, that's not my shit, you know. But I have to be honest. Like, I'm a person who care about truth, even if I'm not living that truth yet. But I'm moving to that truth because the truth is the truth. It happen a lot. White people and their white privilege. It's too late now, because a lot of people are coming out. I see that, but at the same time, it's just a gradual thing. You're perishing. The fact that you're perishing, it won't happen like boo fast. It happened gradually. It's already happening. They're trying by all means to like. I feel like Ghana, we are so lucky to have a country that don't want to approve same sex, because it's not God approvement. It's not, God didn't approve. He told me that they are the problem. Bisexual people are the problem. Gay people are the problem. If you think I'm wrong, tell me one gay guy or bisexual guy who's in a healthy relationship. Tell me one gay guy who's in a healthy relationship. When you look at them, they look like they don't have oily skin. It look like there's something's missing. It look dry, and their skin look dry or something. Like there's something's just off with gay whatsoever. Even if you're not homophobic, you just see there's something's off. I don't know, that there's something's off, guys. Like there's something's off with gay. Like look at them, they look dry. Their skin look dry or something. If it's not dry, there's something that's just lacking. When you're looking at them, the couple who are actually on the same sex, no same sex that is actually happy. Because most of you, I'm gonna make a video one day about LGBT, whatever my opinion on it. I don't have a problem with you. It's just that I know it's not the truth. It's not the truth. You're just like a lost child. When you're lost, we all get lost in our journey. But definitely, gay is not the truth. Because I've noticed how they try to make me gay. I mean, guys, I love dick. I do. Who doesn't? I love dick. It's the truth. But I don't, just because I like dick now, I sleep around. I don't do that. I just respect my body. I'm too spiritual too to live the life that is like that. I just don't like. Just not my style. Okay. Yeah, I think I've covered white privilege, even though I ended up touching other topics. Maybe I will have to make a video about LGBT. You see, this is how God is trying by all means to make me not normalize things. He make me not remember things that I'm not supposed, like LG whatsoever, Christianity's way. Like he made me eliminate myself from things that does not resonate with me, because I don't even know even a song that I know a chorus on it. I don't know any song. I don't have a song that I can sing from the beginning to the end. I don't have that. God made me not to remember things that I'm not supposed to, that are not truth. Yes, that's how I was created. And a lot of children, when they were aware of this, you always like don't remember things. Like even in class, you don't know how to cram. You don't have a cramming skill. People who have cramming skills are toxic. You don't have a cramming skill. God never wants you to cram things. That's why most of the time you were not good with things that require cramming. Especially if your teacher is a cramming teacher. There's how people you always get around 70, 60 in school. I always go around that look whatsoever, because cramming was not I don't have that skill. And I noticed, like, you don't have a cramming skill. You're not supposed to cram things. You're not supposed to take things exactly as it is. They'll prevent you from knowing things. You always go to look at exactly. Even if someone says something horrible to you, it's very hard to say exactly what they said. Instead, you say around what they said. Because it's not something natural. It's not natural for you to be toxic. It's not natural for you to say exactly what they're saying. Just right now, I'm trying to talk about white privilege, but I feel like I sugarcoat a lot of things because it's not natural for me to be toxic. Even if I was toxic in the situation, whenever I'm alone now, I beat myself out. I used to beat myself about it. Like I wish I responded better. I wish I went away, because I'm a person who's conscious. Conscious is my teacher. It's where I get wisdom from. Does that mean I don't make mistakes? I do make mistakes, but I don't I don't allow what I've done wrong to control me. I don't have that energy. I used to be a person who's very hard to forgiving myself, but I was easy to forgiving other people who hate me. But myself, it was something that was so fucking hard, and I was like, yeah. But eventually, as the relationship that I'm developing with myself and God and my ancestors, I just can tell I'm a different person now. I am different. Way different. And look at how the colonizers tried to make us to believe that Christianity is a way. Why are they doing that? Why did they take as spirituality something that is toxic, as demonic? What? Look at now. A lot of black people are have a psychic abilities. A lot of black people have psychic abilities. Does that mean white people don't have a psychic abilities? They do have. But the fact that they try by all means to make us what we believe in our ancestors believing in as toxic, it was something that wrong with them. Because the thing is, we are born to not be the same. We're not born to resonate with how we connect with God, because I connect with God is not the same way with how we connect with God. Maybe you use Christianity, maybe you are Hinduism, maybe you are a Muslim, whatever that resonates with myself. But for me personally, I take where I can, where it resonates with me. I connect with God through my personal experience. I need my personal experience. I don't need to use, or do you know what Exodus said in the Bible? I don't need that. I am just a book on my own. I connect with God like that, and that does not mean other person will resonate. But for me, I like to believe religion was something that was not supposed to be introduced to people. There's nothing wrong with relating their whatsoever when it resonates. For me, I don't own Bible. I never own Bible, and I will die not owning one, because it does not resonate with me. But does that mean I won't find something truthful in there? It's that I don't even know how to translate the shit. Even it's English. I'm like, what does it mean when you say this? Like, I'm very not, my soul is not guided to it. But I know that people who are living, who understand Bible way better than I do, and they're doing life truthfully. It's just that religion is not aligned with me. It's the same thing with a lot of things. I'm not a person who's okay with this white privilege thing. They're trying to make it as like it's normal. When you're speaking out, they say you are overreacting. Right now, there's people who said I'm over, but when you look at people who have a spiritual gift here on YouTube, you realize how fluffy they are. Their information is fluffy. They're acting like we're living in, we're unicorns, we're flying, we're flying with horses, going up and down, as if like it's like that. They gaslight you. I noticed how I felt gaslighted when I was listening to these people, because as much as I resonate with them, they don't go deep. They don't talk about things that are actually happening in real life. It's just fluffy information. Fluffy. But yes, there are those who go deep. Yes, there are those who do. But they are too fluffy. Law of attraction. Not supposed to talk about the bad things because they happen to... What the fuck? I feel so annoyed. This law of attraction shit. Law of attraction, it does have truth. But it's not your only way of living. I'm okay with it's true, whatever you think about it, you attract. I agree with that. I agree with a lot of things in a law of attraction, but it's not, it's like it makes 0.00001% of what I should resonate with. Like, it makes 0.00001% in my life, because I'm open to a new information. I'm open to my growth. I'm open to my spiritual growth, which is something a lot of white people don't experience, because they fuck up their spirit. So they don't want to aggress white privilege because they're living it. None of them ever said, this is, I'm not going to allow white privilege to do me like that. None of them ever said, white privilege is not okay. And like, even if you meet a whitewash person, you don't even say, don't treat me like God, whatsoever. You don't, because it benefits you. Anything that benefits you, that's where you are, white privilege. When you're supposed to tell people who are whitewashed that, I'm not God, don't treat me like that. Instead of benefiting that, it making you feel like, God, shit, I'm supposed to like that. And there's something that's going on. There's someone who's using me as a dainty. Someone who actually they can pray to, like they do it with Krishna or Jesus. They're praying to me like I'm Jesus. I'm not Jesus, guys. I might be a descendant of Moses, because I resonate with Moses the most. I might be a descendant of Moses. I might be a descendant of Krishna, because I resonate with him too. But that doesn't mean I want you to treat me like I'm God. I don't like that mentality. I don't. I'm just here to inspire you to believe that God does exist, ancestors do exist, and I'm also here to trigger you to heal. I care about you healing yourself. I care about you being your best version of yourself. I care about you being your authentic self. I care about you being truthfully to who you are. But now I experience this kind of behavior. People are praying to me like I'm God. And I don't like that shit. I don't. Because it's shit. It's shit. Like it's shit. Right now there's quite this guy. Do you know Ashley Graham? She's a model from US. I don't know when she was born in US, but she's working from US. When I went to her page, I felt gross out. Like, I feel like I can vomit. There's something's wrong with that girl. I don't know why I had to shoot. Maybe I'll mention it in the next video. For right now, I was talking about white privilege. So I'm gonna say goodbye and say goodbye to you all, because it's time. White privilege is not a truth.